What's up, my precious little pack, and welcome back to VEGA Conflict. I guess it kind of defeats the purpose of what I was doing if I don't tell everyone where I'm at. The point of me doing that was because I didn't even know I was going to be at. I was going to be jumping around. Each week I'd be dragging my clan along with me. We'd be moving about from sector to sector. I decided that instead of sitting in one sector, it'd be best to move around. But as such, it would mean bounce around, but it also mean I get to talk to more of you guys more often. But along with that, I figured, well, moving around, jumping around would mean I get to meet a lot more of you and get to interact with you a little bit more often. Along with that, it also means that we could share stories and stuff like that, or just in generally hit a few fleets while we talk, possibly show off how to hit a fleet better, or anything like that. And as we all know, the Alliance Wars is coming up, and again, my video from earlier, I would recommend watching it. It's fairly important to the entire player base. We need to start talking more often to one another. We need to stop interacting per se with Kixi and specifically interact with each other, because we're going to get nothing back from Kixi, and they have a history of doing exactly that, not talking with the player base. So it would be highly important for us to talk amongst each other. I wanted to make sure that is, again, clearly stated. But it doesn't mean we can't have fun, and during the duration of the event, what I'm going to be doing is, once I'm done creating a few ships and refitting them, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start producing free repair time ships, and I'll start interacting and playing around that way. So for all of you who are out there who want to do PvP, if you want to fight with me, you can step down to the free repair time tier. Even you coiners and super coiners, I'm not going to make you coin to repair anything that I wouldn't fight myself anymore. So if you guys want, you can fight me in this tiny tier, because it's free repair time for me. All you have to do is just take the individual ships out. So we could all play very easily. But depending on what sector in, I'm going to jump once a week, so during each set of videos, every week it will be a different sector every time. But hopefully that will be a little bit more of an encouraging fact. But I'm going to jump around a lot more frequently. I'm going to find out who's talking about what, who's doing what. As you guys can tell, I'm in a very specific sector. But along with all of those, I would just like to say thank you for any and all support over every video. I don't say it enough. But I'd also like to see you guys interact a little bit more in-game with me. And as you all know, to get messages out to other players, you have to have their player code. Well, specifically their number right here. 5863539. That's to message me. And you can do that in here. Or you can add me to the friends list, enemies list, whatever. But for the people I can't contact right now, because I may not have their in-game name or their player code or their player number, feel free to shoot me up a message now so we can actually get back in contact, and I may drop by your sector. But let's get that rolling, and I'm going to be refitting each of my ships. I decided that I'm going to try and play from tier 1 to farm high tier targets, because it's free repair time, so I don't have to worry about anything insane, and the low build time is also a benefit. I could build multiple tier 1 ships in a single day, where it's taking me 10 days just to build a single ship. Yeah. I'm going to refocus my efforts. Quantity over quality any day. Especially in this case. But I also want to know, for all of you in the sector and stuff like that I'm currently in, if you don't know I'm the YouTuber, I'm right here. So feel free to chat. And I don't bite, I swear. Well, unless you creep around my fleets, then I may nibble a little bit. But VSEC artillery, so that's what that was.
Bookmarks.
But for all of you that are out there and still play the game and stuff like that, I'm not gone. I'm definitely not going away. The game is dying under Kickside. We all know it. And I've said that I don't really care or talk about it enough because it's already covered more than enough. But I want us to talk a little bit more, so feel free to drop by, send a message, whatnot. And more or less interact, start building stuff up. But I want to see interactions go up. I want to see community grow as a whole instead, because it occurred to me that the difference between free players, coiners, and super coiners is it's almost negligible between a normal coiner that spends $5 to $10 a month and a free player compared to a super coiner. I.e., a super coiner could have entire fleets of top tier tech, whereas the regular coiner will be, they'll pay for repair times with their coins, or they'll pay for a day worth of refits to skip, or any number of other things. But there's quite a bit that could be done and changed, and it occurred to me that it's time to interact with the player base. It's time to chat. It's time to hit everybody up and see who's doing what, and talk about the in-game functions, stuff like that. And as such, it's time for me to talk about one thing in specific. The new daily event setup. As I said in the previous video, they couldn't hit the nail on the head if they tried. They can't get the game properly balanced. They can't properly do just about anything at Kickside. So I don't know what the development team is doing most of the time, but they do good things, they do bad things.
Yes, sir.
It's a matter of trying to figure out the balance is what they need to do so that they can get a little bit more proper balance so they can say what's what and what does what. But for now, everything's a mess, and even I have to admit that. Because, I mean, to see what's going on, you have to go over to the calendar, and you have to scroll down. But here's the good thing. I saw people on the forum were having problems figuring out what's what and what's where. Well, it's all under here, under sector activity. And it's very easy to tell what's running and what's not. If it says ends in, it means it's active now. If it says starts in, it means it's starting. And just about anything else. I mean, everything changes. And look at this, specialist supplier run. Specialist and frigate supply boxes. Now, I can't get anything for specialists because their class isn't in here, so there's nothing for me to majorly hit other than tier 1 stuff to get tier 1 upgrades. And things like that. But there's quite a bit to talk about in-game, and I would like to literally see the player base interact more often than they do. Because, I mean, as I showed, I've been online for probably 20-25 minutes before this video even started, and this is literally all that's been said in the sector I'm in. Doesn't matter if they're speaking another language for translation or anything like that, it's just there's next to nothing said over here. And planetary chat, I got jumped to a new sector, it's empty. I can't say the planet's empty because it's fairly packed, even though they're different names. I see other names and stuff like that. But again, it falls back on the thing of inactivity. Now I'm just rambling on. I do apologize about that. I'm going to show my low-level fitting for a few ships as I build them, but the specific one, if you have the Vector Torpedo level 1 for your ships, you can equip it on destroyers. You can equip it on low-level battleships, and these are all tier 1 ships that I'm using right here. These are all instant repair ships at that. But the point is, I'm going to start opening up stuff with low-level targets just for my high-level fleets so I can cut down repair time. And I can farm resources easily, and at first I thought there would be very negligible amounts and minuscule amounts of resource fleets because everybody hitting them, I was wrong. There's such a small number of people that... Look at this. AI fleets everywhere. There's player fleets out in the sector. They're doing stuff. They're partaking in a little bit of PvP. Most of them, they're just farming fleets from what I've seen. They're hitting AIs. They're collecting resources. So it seems that doesn't change anywhere. Where's the activity that we thought may have come from this? Instead, inactivity has come from this rebalance of us all being brought into one sector. Something else I need to ask. Has anybody, since the relocations, had any disconnects or any problems like that? Anybody at all? Whether you're a mobile player or a PC player, let me know below. But there's quite a bit to talk about, including the upcoming Alliance War, and as I said, the previous video does state a good way to take the Alliance Wars down without us actually having to fight. We can all have fun in a specific tier, along with being able to advance in the game. We just have to be able to talk it over. So specifically high levels and stuff like that. But I can't stress the point enough that the community as a whole does need to talk more. Super coiners need to interact more often with the player base, not by attacking them, but by talking, finding out some common ground, just having a good laugh with the rest of us, because I mean, there's a lot to talk about in-game. The targets, the events, anything. But what's the current strike that's going on? There's no current strike running right now. Man, I'm tired. But there's share fittings, share tips, share general information about certain targets. So if someone hits a high-level fleet and people are asking about it, share the info. Tell them what you found out by hitting it, so they don't make a mistake and jump on the same fleet and lose. But I am in-game. I'm going to be jumping sectors. That's the reason I didn't want to tell anyone my sector, but I'm going to be jumping around each week as my relocation opens up. My clan will be jumping with me, and along with that, I'd like to say, if you want to join me in the clan, it's right here. You just have to send a request, and I can approve it. But I want to see the clan grow and stuff like that. I want to see more people interacting, because chat's dead. Chat's dead. Private chat's dead. Alliance chat's dead. There's literally nothing going on in this sector. It's just, it's super quiet, which I kind of didn't expect. But as I jump around, I'll more or less pull the people who join me along with me. So we'll jump from sector to sector, interact with the people there. And I'm not the only one who does YouTube. As other people know, Toxic Bait, another clan member of mine right here, he does YouTube as well. He's mainly on the mobile platform from what I've seen in his videos. So feel free to go check out his videos too. You can typically find him 1 or 2 comments out of a week in the chat below, in the comments section. And I would recommend taking a look at his channel and stuff like that. And I'm going to be stepping back down the lower tier just to have fun. And for everybody that's out there, happy hunting in the upcoming Alliance Wars, and I hope that you can all find that little interaction with one another that can help benefit the game. I hope that you can all figure out exactly what you can and can't do to help each other advance, or just sit back and relax. Do you just like watching the fighting? Well, go ahead. No one's going to stop you. I'm not going to. I doubt anyone else will have any complaints. But I think that's going to be it. This video is going to be a bit shorter than what the video types will be from now on. I'm going to try and make sure that they're 15 to 20 minute videos each time. But thank you for any and all views, everybody. And I would like to see you interact more often in-game and in the community aside from the game. And for the people on the forums, let's start cleaning that up. Let's start taking away the toxicity of the forums and stop just screaming at them to do certain things. Encourage Kickside to do other things. If we want to see more of a specific thing, then talk more about that specific thing, as well as ways that could benefit or be negligible or be negative, to the environment that we all play in. But let's start doing stuff like that, because we are the community, as we all know. When we stop talking, everything goes downhill. When we start talking, it's not about the right things, and typically it's just to attack other people. Even I've said some crude stuff about Kickside before. Punch below the belt, stuff like that. General intelligence questions that I don't think that they have. But their business model as it stands should change, but it should be for the better. It should be for the benefit of the player base, as well as themselves, as well as their game. If any of the three things die, so does the others. If the company goes under, so do the games. If the player base leaves, the company again will go under. If the game dies, again, the players will leave, company will go under. You always have to think of that. But let's get interactions rolling, and let's get stuff like that happening. Heck, they do their own events all the time in the game. Why don't we set up ours and start talking in sector and stuff like that, figuring out what's what and figuring out who can do what, and just in general, let's just talk things over. We could do who can hit the most of this, collect the resources, and then a high-level player or someone who has excess resource storage could give out free resources. You know, the prize is this person will set out the resources for people to collect after the people complete our own micro-event. There's so much that we can do in the game that we're just not. And do I farm? Yes, I do. And it's time for me to get more farming fleets online so I can mass farm everything. Because I do need resources, but not as much as I need to interact with the player base. I need to interact with the community more often and stuff like that. But that's going to be it for this video, everybody. If you have anything on anything I've said in the video, feel free to say so below in the comments section. If you have any questions or concerns, or would like to start helping schedule our own player-run events that we set up in certain sectors, say so, and let's just in generally have a good time. We'll start setting up our own stuff, and I'll talk about it more often in the future. I'll open up some other things, and I'll participate. I'll have fun. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. If you guys liked the video, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps. And as always, I'll see you later.